So on the last day, what do you think you'll be doing with your crown? Hey friends, it's Pastor Mike from Fellowship Church. Always enjoy connecting with you. Hope you're having a wonderful week. Know that we love you and we pray for you constantly. That question for you again, on the last day, what do you think you'll be doing with your crown? Now, if you caught television or the news this past weekend, you know that there was a pretty significant event that took place on the other side of the pond. That is in England. There was a coronation ceremony. A coronation ceremony is a particular ceremony that takes place when someone is installed as a king or as a queen. And over the course of the past weekend, Prince Charles became formally known as King Charles. Now, if you follow the royalty at all, you know that his mother passed away last year. So he actually assumed the throne back in the fall, but it took a while to work a few details out. So he was coronated this past weekend. So Prince Charles is now King Charles. If you watched any of that on TV, you might have thought, wow, this looks like a really formal ceremony. And then you might have thought, wow, this looks really boring. That's kind of where I was at on this. Not to them over there, of course, but watching that coronation ceremony, I was really kind of amazed at all of the things that were given him because he's now the king. For example, Charles got this really cool robe, definitely not something off the rack. It's a robe that's made for the king, and while that robe looked really heavy, he was given a scepter because a scepter is a sign of authority. It's a sign of ruling. It's a sign for the king. He was given a really awesome looking sword. I hope he puts that thing in a display case and never uses it. He was given something called the Sovereign's Orb. Maybe you saw him holding that kind of little orbital thing, and apparently that has something to do with kingship as well. He was given something called the Stone of Destiny. I don't know if they loan that out at all, but I'd love to borrow that for a weekend just to kind of hang on to it and say, I've got the Stone of Destiny in my hand. There were some other items that came along as well, special bracelets. He was anointed with oil. But the part that fascinated me is when they gave him his crown. Yeah, someone came forward with a crown, and after saying some words, they placed that crown on King Charles, and the crown didn't fit very well. I wanted to kind of reach through the TV and pack it down a little tighter, but he had this crown on, and by the way, that crown weighs 4.5 pounds. You'd certainly notice that. But there was new King Charles with the robe and all of the investments that went along with it, and now he's got the crown on. I thought, wow, that is really some kind of crown. That's a sign of royalty. Until I remember that there are a number of places in the Bible where, friends, we might talk about crowns. A number of occasions where the Apostle Paul talks about things like the crown of life and the crown of righteousness. Paul even said that someday we would all have a crown of sorts. That's an interesting thought. Of course, Jesus, if you remember the last day of his life in the execution scene, crucifixion, he was given a crown of thorns. But here's the part that really catches my eye now. There's a scene in the book of Revelation when Jesus is on the throne, and it says that there are 24 elders all gathered around Jesus, and they all have crowns as well. Where they got the crowns and why they have them, I don't know, but all 24 elders have these crowns. And when they look at Jesus on the throne, the Bible tells us that they put their crowns down. They took their crowns off and just laid them down before Jesus. Why? I'm not sure, but I think it was probably something like, this crown is meaningless to me in standing in the face of Jesus. Friends, I don't know if we'll have crowns in heaven or not, but my question is, what are you going to do with your crown when you stand in front of Jesus? I'm pretty sure that we will all be so filled with his presence and his glory that whatever crown we have will just automatically come off. We'll drop it on the ground and say, you're the king. Regardless of who else was coronated on planet Earth, you're the king. And may he be your king this week, my friends. May you live for him this week. Hope you have a wonderful week. Hope you're taking good care of yourself and your family. Know that we love you and we're praying for you. Take good care. God bless. Bye-bye.